Alright, so picture this. Bustling cities, folks heading to work, to school, out for a night on the town. Now picture a whole other world, a network humming right beneath their feet. That's where we're going today. Before we jump into the underground world of Canada's subways, how they move millions, connect cities, and shape urban life, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm your host from Fixins, and trust me, there's more to these tunnels than just a way to get from point A to point B. These aren't just holes in the ground with tracks, you know. They're feats of engineering, triumphs over challenging geography, and sometimes even works of art. Think about the sheer logistics: digging, blasting, laying track, all while a city lives and breathes right above. We're talking about systems that are the unsung heroes of daily life for millions, the kind of complex machinery that usually stays out of sight and out of mind, but without which these cities would grind to a halt. So stick with us as we peel back the layers of concrete and steel. Now, when you think of Canada, massive, sprawling subway networks might not be the first thing that pops into your head, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. It's a big country, a lot of open space, and for many Canadians, a subway is something you see in movies, not something you ride every day. But here's the thing. In a few key major cities, these underground railways aren't just a convenience. They're the absolute backbone of daily life. Most Canadians, it's true, don't live in cities with subways, but for those who do, these systems are indispensable. They rely on them like a farmer relies on rain. So, where exactly are these subterranean workhorses? Well, top of the list, no surprise, is Toronto. The Toronto Transit Commission, or the TTC as it's known to everyone there, operates by far the largest and busiest subway system in the entire country. We're talking serious numbers of people, day in and day out, disappearing underground and popping up across the city. It's a sprawling beast, constantly thrumming with activity. A city beneath the city, really. Then you've got Montreal. Their metro, as they call it, is a very respectable close second in both sheer size and the number of folks it carries. Out on the west coast, Vancouver presents a slightly different picture. They don't technically have a subway in the classic sense of the word. What they have is the SkyTrain, which, as the name suggests, is a mostly elevated rapid transit system. Alright, let's talk about the big one, the Toronto subway. If you've ever been to Toronto, you've probably encountered it, or at least felt its presence. Operated by the Toronto Transit Commission, the TTC, this system is often called the beating heart of Canada's urban transit. It truly is central to the lifeblood of the city, a massive, intricate network that keeps millions of people moving every single day. Without it, Toronto as we know it would likely seize up. We're talking 4 main lines, snaking their way under the city, connecting over 70 stations. And the ridership? On an average day, this system moves more than 1 million people. Think about that for a second. 1 million individual journeys, 1 million stories, all facilitated by this underground network. It's a ballet of logistics, timing, and constant maintenance happening largely out of sight, ensuring the city above can function. The granddaddy of the system, Line 1, also known as the Yonge University Line, first opened its doors way back in 1954. Today that original Line 1 has grown and evolved, now running in a giant U-shape that cuts right through Toronto's bustling downtown core. And Toronto's system is anything but static. It's constantly evolving, trying to keep pace with a rapidly growing city. For the folks who live and work in Toronto, the subway isn't just a mode of transportation, it's a fundamental part of survival in a major metropolis. Now let's head over to Quebec and talk about Montreal's Metro. This system, let me tell you, is unique, and I don't just mean unique for Canada. We're talking world-class distinctiveness here. Opened back in 1966, just in time for Expo 67, the Montreal Metro made a bold engineering choice right from the get-go. It uses rubber tires on its trains instead of traditional steel wheels on steel rails. It's a feature that immediately sets it apart and makes you wonder, why go to all that trouble? Well, there are a couple of very good, very Montreal reasons for this rubber tire innovation. First and foremost, it helps to reduce noise. If you've ridden it, you'll notice it's often a quieter, smoother ride compared to some older steel-wheeled systems. But perhaps more critically, especially in a city famous for its long, snowy winters, those rubber tires offer improved traction. When the streets above are slick with ice and snow, the Metro can keep running reliably, providing a warm, efficient escape from the elements. The system itself consists of 4 lines and serves over 65 stations, many of which are, and this is no exaggeration, architectural gems. This wasn't an accident. When the metro was being built, there was a deliberate decision to make each station visually distinct. They brought in different architects and artists for different stations, turning a simple commute into something of a moving art gallery. Montrealers, by and large, genuinely love their metro. Alright, let's journey out west to Vancouver, where their rapid transit system, the SkyTrain, really does stand apart from the crowd. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's not your traditional, entirely underground subway. A good chunk of the SkyTrain network is elevated, offering passengers some pretty spectacular views of the city and surrounding mountains as they zip along. However, don't let the sky in SkyTrain fool you. It also features significant underground sections, particularly as it navigates the dense downtown core, and on the vital Canada line connecting to the airport. The SkyTrain has a fascinating origin story. It was largely launched back in 1985, just in time to be a showcase for Expo 86, a World's Fair that put Vancouver on the global map. One of the most striking things about the SkyTrain is that it's fully automated and driverless. That's right, no driver up front. This makes it one of the longest fully automated transit systems anywhere in the world. It's a marvel of engineering and computer control, allowing for frequent service and a high degree of reliability. The network currently runs on 3 main lines: the original Expo line, the Millennium line, and the Canada line, which was a major addition for the 2010 Winter Olympics. Together, these lines connect downtown Vancouver with important suburban centers like Burnaby, New Westminster, Richmond, and Surrey. So, we've looked at the big subway networks in Toronto and Montreal and Vancouver's high-tech SkyTrain. But what about Canada's vast prairie cities? Places like Calgary and Edmonton also have bustling urban centers and a need to move people efficiently. Their solution? Light rail transit, or LRT. These systems serve as their main form of urban rail transit, and while they operate a bit differently, they still have an important underground component. For the most part, if you're riding the C-Train in Calgary or the LRT in Edmonton, you'll find yourself traveling at street level or on dedicated tracks above ground. However, when these LRT lines approach the busy, congested downtown cores of Calgary and Edmonton, things change. To avoid getting tangled up in street traffic, to make pedestrian movement easier, and to provide more direct access to key downtown destinations, these systems strategically dip below ground. It's a clever way to get the benefits of unimpeded travel right where it's needed most, without committing to a fully subterranean network across the entire city. So, while they're not subways in the traditional, fully underground sense that you see in, say, New York or London, these underground sections in Calgary and Edmonton play an absolutely critical role. They are the pinch point problem solvers. These subterranean stretches are all about keeping the city centers decongested and ensuring the LRT can maintain a reliable and efficient schedule. They allow for faster travel times through the densest parts of the city and provide sheltered, all-weather access to stations. So after journeying through these various underground networks, from the sprawling systems of the East to the more targeted approaches elsewhere, one thing becomes crystal clear. In the Canadian cities that have them, these subway and underground transit systems are absolute lifelines. They are far more than just a way to get from one place to another. They are fundamental to the economic health, social connectivity, and daily rhythm of these urban centers. Think about the Canadian climate. We're talking serious winter storms, ice, snow, the kind of weather that can bring surface transportation to its knees. This is where subways truly shine. They cut right through those winter storms, offering a reliable, warm, and consistent way for people to get to work, to school, to essential services, when the roads above are a chaotic mess. Then there's the challenge of urban sprawl and the ever-present beast of rush hour traffic. As our cities have grown outwards, commute times have ballooned and congestion has become a daily frustration for millions. Subways and their underground counterparts offer a way to bypass that gridlock, providing a faster, more predictable journey. They help to manage the flow of people in densely populated areas, preventing the kind of total traffic paralysis that could cripple a city. These systems are massive drivers of economic growth. They connect people to jobs, businesses to customers, and development to transit hubs. Beyond the purely practical, there are significant environmental and social benefits. By providing a high-capacity alternative to individual car use, subways help to reduce carbon emissions and air pollution, contributing to healthier cities. They also create opportunities, making education, healthcare, and cultural amenities more accessible to a wider range of people, regardless of whether they own a car. Well folks, that about wraps up our journey through the tunnels and tracks of Canada's underground transit systems. From the sheer scale of Toronto's TTC, to the unique style of Montreal's Metro, the futuristic feel of Vancouver's SkyTrain, and the practical solutions in the prairies, it's clear these networks are doing some heavy lifting, often out of sight. Thanks for riding with us today. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and subscribe for more journeys into the systems that move our world. It's easy to take these things for granted, isn't it? You hop on, you hop off, and you don't always think about the incredible engineering, the daily maintenance, or the sheer human effort that goes into making it all work seamlessly. But as we've seen, these aren't just conveniences, they're vital organs in the body of a city, pumping life and energy through its core. They're a testament to human ingenuity and our ongoing quest to build better, more connected communities, even if it means going deep underground to do it. Here at Fixins, we love digging into the nuts and bolts of how our world works, from the massive infrastructure projects to the everyday technologies that shape our lives. There are so many more stories to tell, so many more systems to explore. So, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure, and let us know in the comments below. What piece of fascinating infrastructure should we explore next? Until then, keep looking closer at the world around you, especially the parts working hard right under your feet.